Hello and welcome to I Heart Gardening. This is Nadine. There's my first perennial bloom of the year, a viola. But that's not my topic for today. My topic is using eggshells and coffee grounds for fertilizer, soil enrichment, and for pest deterrent. And I actually see a pest right now. That's the one I want to deter. I've got some red lily beetles on my lilies. You can see them because they're bright red. So I'm going to be putting eggshells on here that is supposed to help because they have sharp edges that they don't like on the soft body. Maybe not on these adult form of the red lily beetle, but maybe the softer larva pupae. Sorry, I'm not a bug expert. And then the coffee grounds are to be a scent deterrent. But these couple ones that I can see right here, I'm going to be picking and squishing those. Okay, I've just squished 4 red lily beetles. So it's a good thing I'm out here to do some work. So I've got my eggshells, and these eggshells I've been collecting over winter. I dry them in the cardboard cartons, and then after I've collected a few dozen, I put them in the blender to crush them up. And then I'm going to get my coffee grounds here, which I've also been collecting over winter for my daily espresso. And I'm just going to add my coffee grounds on top. So hopefully this will work, because I know those red lily beetles will destroy these lilies in no time. But I'm going to have to be out here every day picking and squishing. So now we'll go to the backyard and work on some soil enhancement and fertilizer applications of crushed eggshells and coffee grounds. I have a landscaped yard, and I do my edible gardening worked into my landscape and in containers. So I've got lots of pots like this set into the bark mulch where I do my vegetable gardening. Last year in here I did lettuce and spinach, because this is a part shade area. But I had horrible slugs last year, and the coffee grounds and eggshells did not work on the slugs. So this year in this area, I'm going to be planting some leeks and chives, and I'm going to be adding the coffee grounds as a soil conditioner because I've got quite a bit of clay soil. I have added some garden soil to the top, but I'm going to add a bit more coffee grounds here. Work that in, and then I'm going to plant my leeks and chives. So I've started those from seed, and now hopefully our overnight low temperatures are warm enough above freezing that I can safely put these in the ground without fear of freezing. So I've got my coffee grounds and eggshells added here. I'll get it worked in, and then I will plant my leeks and chives. Well, I've got most of my leeks and chives in there. I've got one more to plant. I started these in peat pellets. I've got 2 in here. I'm going to try and separate them, and hopefully I don't wreck them. And then I can keep both. But I have never grown leeks before, so this could be a bit of an experiment. And I don't mind trying. We'll see what happens. I failed last year with the slugs and the lettuce, so if I get anything, I'll be happy. I'll show you the seed packets I've got here. This is for the leeks. Like I said, I've never grown them before. And it says on the seed packet here, it takes 130 to 155 days to maturity. But I have a short growing season in my climate that's maybe only about 120 days. So hopefully they got enough of a head start by starting them inside. And there's the chive seed packet, 80 days to maturity. But this should be perennial. And these get a height of 10 inches and the leeks get a little bit taller, so I planted them at the back of the container. So I'm just going to get them watered in, and then we will go on to the next planting task. Here I'm going to do some container gardening. I've started this tomato from seed. It's a sun gold tomato. And in this instance, I want to use the coffee grounds and eggshells as organic fertilizer. I really wanted to use organic as opposed to a synthetic fertilizer. And ideally, I'd like to be using bone meal, especially at transplanting. Bone meal has got a higher middle number for fertilizer. Why can I never get this remembered right? NPK, phosphorus is for the P. And that's what's good for root development at the time of your transplanting. But I'm thinking I might have a problem with bone meal because of my dog. The dog really loves the smell of the bone meal, and I don't want him digging in my plants. So I'm going to add some eggshells and coffee grounds, and it's going to act as a slow release fertilizer. Not sure if this is going to be enough fertilizer for my tomatoes because they're heavy feeders, but we'll see. If I need to add more fertilizer later in the season, I can always do that later when I see what's happening in here. Now, I replaced this soil in this pot this year. It's fresh potting soil. Last year I had fusarium, which is tomato wilt. We had a very wet, cool summer, and the tomatoes, well, they did okay, but I don't want to be bringing forward any kind of disease from last year, so I just went ahead and replaced the soil. So at least I know the soil is going to be good. And there's one tomato planted. I'll just have to get it watered in. And this is what I'm going to be using as a tomato cage. A little bit more decorative than your standard tomato cage, but should support the plant and hopefully protect it from digging dogs. This is my last planting project for today's video. I'm going to be planting carrot seeds, and like I mentioned, I have clay soil. So I've grown carrots in these pots last year, and I think the year before, and the carrots actually have no problem growing in the clay soil because they just essentially have a straight root down. The only issue I have is come harvest time, when I'm taking the carrots out of the soil, the clay sticks to them, and then it's a lot of work to clean them. So my purpose today is to really condition this soil to loosen it so I don't have that sticky clay problem. So I am going to be adding some compost, and then I'm also going to be adding quite a lot of coffee grounds to really help loosen up that clay soil. I've grown these Scarlet Nance carrots before, and I really like them. They have a really nice sweet taste, and I know they grow about 6 inches long, so I want to make sure I'm amending my soil to a depth of at least 6 inches. So once I get this added, I'm just really going to work this in. So hopefully this should help. I don't expect it to be a miracle cure, because I know it takes a period of time, maybe over years, to get soil conditioned. But if it helps a little bit and makes things a little bit easier at harvesting time, I think I'll be happy. You can see I can feel the clumps of clay soil, and it really, you know it's clay when it sticks together. So I just want to try and get it as broken up as much as possible. Okay. Now I read the seed packet and it said I should start with moistened soil. And then when I plant the seeds, to keep the seeds evenly moist until they're germinated. So I'll let that soak in, and then I will do the second pot. I've got the soil worked in the second pot, and now it's ready to go. It might seem super weird to grow vegetables in round pots, particularly like carrots when they're normally grown in rows, but I have a small yard. I don't have a veggie plot. So this is just kind of me being creative and finding ways to grow vegetables however I can. So I'm not going to plant in rows. I've just kind of poked little finger holes around, and then I'm going to drop seeds inside. I may need to thin these later, which is fine. It's normally something you have to do with carrots anyway. And these seeds that I'm planting, these are Bolero carrots. I've not grown this variety before, but somebody on a gardening Facebook page recommended it as a variety that holds its flavor during storage for a long period of time, which interested me, so I thought I'd give these a try. That's what that seed pack looks like. And so I'm just going to kind of lightly cover up my little finger holes there, and then finish off by just watering the top lightly. And then hopefully I have some carrots germinating in a couple of weeks. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.